Macedonia is the first stop in my trip to the Western Balkans. And I want to start thanking President Penderovsky, who I met this morning. And let me thank you, Prime Minister, dear Dimitar, and the members of your government for receiving me at this crucial moment. In fact, my visit comes against the backdrop of the barbaric aggression by Putin on the people of Ukraine. I am repeating, barbaric attack by Putin. That's the Putin's war on the people of Ukraine, not only the military, but the civilians. The Russian armed forces continue to carry an air missile and artillery strikes targeting civilians, peaceful neighbors, exhausting food reserves, hospitals and schools. In Mariupol, they heavy trap civilians who are being bombed, starved and dehydrated as Russia has cut off water. And you could live without heating, but you cannot live without water. They have got food, gas at temperatures below zero. More than 2,400 civilians have died in Mariupol since the 24th of February, when, dear Prime Minister, we hold a phone call about the situation. It has been 17 days of war. And during 17 days, only 17 days, 2.6 million of Ukrainians, people, have fled Ukraine. It is the biggest movement of people since the end of the World War II. In Europe, we have never witnessed, since the end of the war, such a big movement of people. Maybe now they are already reaching 3 million. These figures from yesterday. But they are continue escaping the country and the bombs of the Russian army. And millions more are at risk. It would not be a surprise that we should be able to host maybe 4-5 million of Ukrainians. They are already almost 3 million in 2 weeks. And a journalist was killed yesterday in Ukraine while he was documenting the madness of this war. And I think that the best way of honoring his legacy is exposing the truth that the Kremlin is trying to hide. But let me say, Prime Minister, here in front of the North Macedonian people, that Putin's war is not only about Ukraine. It's about the respect for international law and principles. It's about security and stability of our European continent. It affects all of us. In economic and political terms, it affects you, it affects the European Union, it affects the world balances. And we have to talk with the future members of the European Union, as you are. We have to speak, to talk, and to raise our voice and to act together. So I have to thank North Macedonia government for the clear condemnation and the strong stance against this Russian aggression and your firm support to Ukraine and to the Ukrainian people. We have put in practice a massive package of sanctions against the Russian leadership in order to avoid to finance this terrible war. Right now, I want to announce it, if you allow me to use this opportunity. I want to announce that we are finalizing the adoption of a fourth strong package of sanctions, a new package of sanctions. This package that will be approved by written procedure by the Council of Foreign Affairs Ministers will include new measures against Russian trade, market access, membership in international financial institutions, crypto assets, export of luxury goods, and targeting of steel and energy sectors. And we are listing more individuals and more companies They are playing an active role on supporting the people who undermine Ukraine's sovereignty by the Russian government. This will be another major blow to the economic and logistic base upon which the Kremlin is building the invasion and taking the resources to find it. And the decision by your government, Prime Minister, to fully align with all European Union declarations, statements and restrictive measures on Russia clearly demonstrates your commitment to the European Union values and puts you on the European track, not only as an European Union candidate, but also as a responsible member of the international community, because what we are talking about is about moral choices, not calculation choices, but moral choices. I am sure you are taking this decision on the basis of a moral choice. North Macedonia and this entire region are a strategic priority for us. And we are committed to making the European perspective a reality. And we have discussed about this today with you, Prime Minister. We have discussed about the wider implication of the war for the Western Balkans and how the European Union can help best you to deal with the consequences and increase your resilience. And to this end, we are going to step up our cooperation on cyber and fighting against disinformation, which is so much important, because it's so much important to conquer the spirits and minds of the people. And I would put forward proposals to enhance security and defense in the region. This is, I hope, an awakening moment for Europe. This is the moment to reinvigorate the enlargement process as to anchor the Western Balkans firmly to the European Union. I know that you have clear expectations, and rightly so. And we need to start formal accession negotiations with North Macedonia and Albania as soon as possible. I hope it will be possible at the next intergovernmental conference. And let me say that I perceive a renewed impetus between Bulgaria and North Macedonia. And I encourage both sides to quickly find a mutually acceptable solution to the remaining bilateral issues, because the enlargement cannot be jeopardized or conditioned by bilateral issues. In parallel, work on reforms in North Macedonia in the areas of rule of law, fight against corruption and organized crime, digital transformation and the green agenda will ensure rapid progress when negotiated will be launched. All actors need to work together to advance the European reform agenda, which is first and foremost in the interest of the citizens, and it is the fastest way for the country to progress in the European path. I know, because I've been talking with you and your ministers and many friends that I have in this country, that the concerns that you have, the concerns that the people have on their minds, apart from security, they are rightly concerned about growing prices on energy and food. And via the economic and investment plan, the European Union will finance diversification of energy supply and reducing dependencies. We need that also. We need to reduce dependencies in order to ensure that the prices will not be spiking. We stand with the Western Balkans, Prime Minister. We stand with North Macedonia. We are currently working on how to integrate better and involve more the region in our initiative to address the economic impact of this war, to face future shocks, allow economic recovery, and clean the way to the European Union. Thank you, Prime Minister.